When you make a decision that you want a trailer, a big component in that decision is the tow vehicle. A lot of people buy a car based on lust. It's got, you know, the few things are advertised to appeal to status and lifestyle more than cars, right? Just take a look at those ads. Luxurious lifestyle, sexual attraction, the guy with the hot car gets the hot chicks. Well, you know, that's fine if you want to feed off that trough. I used a little logic on this instead. And city driving 9 miles per gallon, 15 highway, not too bad. $505,000. So let's look at mine. I had a Subaru Forester 2018 Outback. It's a 4-cylinder. It's capable of towing. This trailer weighs 1,500 pounds. It's capable of towing that. It can tow more than that. The trailer has electric brakes. That's a consideration. You can tow more weight with this car if you have electric brakes on the trailer. So I'm not even close to the capacity this car can tow. This is the tongue right here. Yeah. This is the tongue right here. So the tongue weight on a trailer is critical. That's how much weight this presses down on the ball. So you're going to have this pressure. You're going to have this downward pressure on your ball, and you want to make sure that your car can handle that, because that puts a lot of weight on the suspension, and you can only handle so much weight safely on a vehicle like this. This one can handle 200 pounds of tongue pressure. And this trailer, my particular trailer, when it's fully loaded, happens to have 200 pounds of tongue weight, and that's good. So it's a good match. You'll see cars bouncing down the road where the suspension is sagging because of the weight of trailers. That's not good. You're stressing out the suspension. You know, the car was not built to handle that. This one's a good match for me. So give me a thumbs up. If you don't do that, I'm going to reach through this screen and pull on your nose. There's 130, 140 different models of cars on the road right now that I could have chose from. I had my heart set on a Toyota Tacoma. Fuel economy was a decision factor that I factored in, as was internal space, towing capacity. There's a couple of, you know, touch buttons you want to make sure you check boxes you want to make sure you hit. I didn't want to be a poster child for global warming, you know? So when I get 28 miles to the gallon, that's average city highway, that costs me about 10.7 cents a mile if gas is $3 a gallon. How many cylinders are these?
10.
10 cylinders, yeah. Now when I'm on the highway and I'm getting 34 miles at a gallon, that's only 8.2 cents a mile. So when I tow, I typically get it's like 50, I get between 24 miles a gallon when I'm towing. If it's, you know, normal geography. Yeah, this is what I need. A McLaren. Used $158,000. This is what's going to make me a real babe magnet. Not too many mountains. I'll get 24 miles to the gallon, and that's 12.5 cents a mile. With a 4-cylinder, a lot of people told me, no, get a 6-cylinder. You'll get the same gas mileage as you do with a 4-cylinder on the highway. And that, in fact, is partially true. I talked to people with a Toyota Tacoma. Tacoma. You know, I almost bought a Tacoma. I ended up with the Subaru.
Great gas mileage with it.
What are you getting in gas mileage?
Oh, honestly, I don't know, but I just know that we can fill it up and go 350 miles.
How many gallons?
So
18.
18, 350. You're getting about 22, maybe 20.
Well, there you go.
Depends on if there's any mountains.
And how's the gas mileage?
A little rough. I got 13.
Yeah.
13, 14 miles.
Yeah, okay.
So.
They don't get much better than that when they're not towing. So I had to make some decisions. One thing that factored in big time for me was how much do I tow as opposed to just drive. So the majority of my time is spent driving around town, and I get excellent gas mileage for that. And I don't mind taking a hit on the times that I tow. I'm going to get the same gas mileage as a larger vehicle like a Tacoma. And I just figured it out. It just made sense. Get the car for the most driving you do, rather than getting something big, you know, some big Dakota or something, for the small percentage of time that I tow and do things off-road. So that factored in for me. You know, your choices are yours. These are my choices. The Tundra, Toyota Tundra. It's mammoth. 14 miles per gallon. Price $53,000. Here's a Tacoma, small pickup, four-wheel. Thought it might be a possible choice for me. Let's look at it. Average 18 miles per gallon, 17 to 21. The price $36,000. Okay. Trouble for me was the bed's too short. I can't lay down in it unless the tailgate's open. So the idea of putting a cap on here, you know, putting a cap on to give me a spare room, just ain't gonna work out. This car, Subaru Outback, I'm 5'10". I can lay down in here, and I can sleep in this car, and plenty of people do. There's plenty of people who live in this car. When I was deciding on a car, I had to decide on all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or two-wheel drive. Now, two-wheel drive cars are excellent, and one decision-making factor for me was looking in Consumer Reports at the reliability of cars. Some other brands are just pretty terrible. I won't go into them at the risk of offending anybody, but you know who they are. They're terrible. And when you go from two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive, the reliability statistics go down a lot. You can lose a star or two on Consumer Reports because of a four-wheel drive car. They're just more complex. Now for me, for what I was doing, I felt that I needed an all-wheel drive car. So once I decided I wanted an all-wheel drive car, then what becomes pretty important to me was the ground clearance. The ground clearance is pretty critical. It tells you how much you're going to be able to get over once you're getting off-road. And I knew I was going to be going off some fire roads, nothing too severe, but I knew I needed some ground clearance. So the Outback has 8.75 inches of ground clearance. The trailer has 10 inches of ground clearance. So if the car can make it over, then the trailer can make it over. And I carry a ruler inside this car, you know, in case and I've had to use it at times to see if I can get over things. And then that gets into all kinds of geometry, right? You have the angle of the car, one wheel is up, one is down. But you want to make sure you're going to come back with your transmission and your oil intact on the car. There's no armor on this car. It's just it's a car, you know. But it does well. It has great traction, and I had to admit to myself that there's always going to be something, some road you can't get down. I'm just looking at coming down here. This area looks like it might be a problem. I could get through this area. I'd have to make sure the trailer got around that rock. Anyway, something to consider. I'm pretty sure I could get up here no problem with just a car. But you're not going to get down all of it. There's always something that's going to turn you back. I mean, I've had it, I was up in Michigan. There were plenty of roads that turned back monster trucks, you know? So you have to accept that. I just wanted to have as much on my side when I went it off-road, and it's a good thing I had it in some cases, as possible. And the all-wheel drive on this car is pretty good. It's a good compromise car for me. Not for you, for me. On this one, even if I pin the tires right up against this left side, the other tire and trailer wheels are going to come up over this bigger rock here. Across this, looks like somebody built it up. Over that. Right here would be a problem point. I'm not feeling too good about it. And I do see scrape marks on this rock. This is more for a big boy truck. I don't think I can get through here. The other side's no better. This rock here has got loads of scrapes on it. Looks like this cost somebody some money. So this Subaru Outback, the display can be set to show you the oil temperature, and that's really good for towing. I monitor oil temperature all the time, and the hottest I've seen it is 245 degrees. That's towing up some uphill. And for this car, I use high temperature synthetic oil, Mobil One, and I take care of the fluids. You know, the car can tow, but you need to give a car that tows extra care. You need to change the oil more often. I need to keep an eye on all the fluids. I'll probably change the transmission fluid at 50,000 miles. So just because the car can tow doesn't mean you don't, that it's not under stress, and you need to take care of it. I check the air pressure on the tires, the usual maintenance before I do any trip and while I'm on the road. And the car rewards me. It doesn't use any oil. It's a happy car. When I purchased my car, they told me not to tow. I think it was 1,200 miles to break the car in a little more before you start towing. So you'd want to check with your dealer and your car maker to see what's acceptable before you start towing. Or I need some trail grooming out here. Oh yeah, all right, I'm going through. Hopefully the fan will still be on top of the trailer. Maybe something used. Let's have a look. Nice. What does this guy go for? 250,000. Yeah, thank you.